Okay, hello, 𝗏𝗏 here. I hope everything's going well. A really interesting story that is developing a bit underneath the mainstream press. I'm interested to see if this turns into some stories here. But this is some questions around if Microsoft is purposely sabotaging Stability AI on LinkedIn. And so there's a little bit of history to this, and I'll document that with some tweets from 𝗚madd here, who's the leader of Stability AI. Stability AI, the developers of Stable Diffusion, an open source company that has been developing really beautiful technology. Haven't done as much on the large language model side, specifically for text generation, obviously, which we've seen with ChatGPT and just GPT in general, but have used Stable Diffusion to do image generation, which is a direct competitor to 𝗟𝗏, if OpenAI's 𝗟𝗏, if you think of it in that regards. And 𝗚madd here, who is again an awesome guy and also quite a character and very bullish on the mission that he's on at Stability AI, he puts out this open offer to OpenAI, who wants to work on what he calls actually OpenAI. And there's a lot of criticism about OpenAI's progression from a nonprofit focused on developing open source technology to their latest release of GPT-4, which really the details on how that was developed and arrived upon were very scarce. And criticism around even their name, OpenAI, has really run into an all-time high. And 𝗚madd elaborates on this with this offer basically to poach employees from OpenAI. Obviously, very talented people who work on that team who are leading what is a significant revolution in technology that is being widely adopted, sought after, and again, very interesting time for the world as we bring this technology into our day-to-day lives. And so there's this tweet originally from James. 𝗚madd retweets that with the comment about working on at Stability AI, and anyone who from OpenAI has a welcome offer. There's a discussion and super interesting, and that's a bold thing for him to do. Really don't think that much of it. It's an interesting thing. But then what starts to emerge, so this is the next day, the following day, is that LinkedIn starts to auto-change Stability AI to a malware site. And he talks about a lot of crap going on behind the scenes. He's putting them in a list, but focused on open source, diverse AI. And so you can see with the Stability AI link, it's actually a redirect with general malware page. So this seems relatively new. There is some comments around that people testing this and that everything's okay, but more and more people start to say something is happening, and that now has developed. So that's continued to develop. Now, what is this connection? Why am I talking about this? Well, of course, Microsoft owns LinkedIn. So Microsoft bought LinkedIn, one of their biggest acquisitions ever, $26 billion. I should know the exact date of when this happened, but not that long ago if we think of the timeline of Microsoft. And then Microsoft obviously has quite a relationship with OpenAI, running everything on their servers and investing, it seems generally $10 billion, lots of relationships part of that. And then last week there was Microsoft fundamentally talking about the changes that were going to happen with AI, and specifically OpenAI embedded into their entire 365 suite. A lot of investment going into OpenAI, a lot of work and relationship building. And then all of a sudden we've got 𝗚madd here who goes directly at OpenAI with relatively maybe what some would classify as an aggressive post, but then also obviously just there in terms of competition as a competitor to OpenAI, very much focused on the open source alternative, and then generally quite critical of the way that OpenAI is operating. So there's a lot of factors that are involved in that. And what comes out today here, 𝗚madd follows up on this post, and so this is relatively recently, about 10 a.m. this morning here, changes Stability AI links across. So after they did this, which, again, people were a little, is this actually happening or not? But then there being some evidence of this. The Stability AI LinkedIn page has actually been completely erased, and this has now started some conversation about this not being a coincidence. Obviously, 𝗟𝗏 here, for people missing the context behind it, laid out in about 3 points. Stability AI openly tries to poach OpenAI employees. OpenAI is backed by Microsoft. Microsoft owns LinkedIn. We've got Charlie Day there. This is not that much of the crazy map that he's putting together on the show. It's pretty direct what's happening in here. And I wanted to validate that myself to see. And what's interesting is, cool, there's a post about Stability AI that I had done. I had actually posted and was successful at tagging them in the past. Now, if you go and you click on one of those employees, you can see that the VP of Innovation, which was by Clipshop, which was acquired. There's no Stability AI page. And so that, in a way, completes the loop of this story here that Mod points out. And I just thought this was something worthwhile documenting, sharing. I hope I'm personally not getting into any trouble here because of this. I just think we're going to continue to see, as investment goes into this technology, it speaks to just how competitive of a space this actually is. And there is a history of Microsoft doing some anti-competitive things. Famously, this could just be one way that they do that. And we've seen things like this before with Twitter not allowing Mastodon links, or Instagram not letting you link out to other places. And like there's a reason behind this that we've seen done generally acceptable, where it's obviously companies are not trying to drive people to outside competitors. But in general, this is a little bit of a new implementation of that, where through multiple layers, Microsoft owning LinkedIn, there is almost a destruction of the accessibility of that company. And Stability AI, a widely used company, an open source alternative to a company that Microsoft is deeply invested in OpenAI, and overall speaks to both an interesting and exciting time and a very competitive time where people are seeing this fundamental shift in technology and trying to capitalize on that as strongly as possible, even if that means you're doing some anti-competitive things like this. That's all from me here today. A little bit of an investigative deep dive. I'm Tyler Bryden. If you haven't checked out a video from me before, I love creating videos on technology. If you like this, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll continue to create and appreciate you joining this very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.